So you just got a Nintendo Switch because everyone else got a Nintendo Switch and you're thinking, what are the best accessories for my Nintendo Switch? But you're sophisticated. You want to have a little bit more of a minimalistic approach to this. You don't want to feel like you have all these crazy, bulky RGB nonsense accessories. I hear you. I'm the same. For goodness sakes, I only wear black because any other color is too much. And speaking of which, let's start with the bag. This is the all black on black cadet bag by Chrome Bag. This is the absolute best sling bag I think that exists out there. And not only does it feel great and comfortable, it's sleek, it is small and compact, and it absolutely serves the best purpose ever, which is it looks like a normal messenger bag. I don't like tech bags. I don't like gamer bags. I don't like anything that screams there's expensive technology inside this bag. And this does just that. This is designed for bike messengers. It's designed to be worn on your back. It's designed to be thrown around and whipped around. And it has this, which is removable, stabilizer strap, which I think is huge. It's very easy to use with one hand because, again, it's meant for bike messengers. If you put the stabilizer strap on, it's not sliding around or going anywhere. It's affixed to your back. It's good to go. And I personally think this thing looks pretty darn cool. This Chrome Bag is one of the best bags I own. I've owned multiple versions of this bag, a bigger one, a much bigger one, and this is the one that I've settled on. It comes with this wonderful, beautiful seatbelt. That's what they're known for. And you push it and it will come off completely, but that's not something I'm willing to do here with expensive stuff in this bag. In fact, all of the accessories I'm talking about are already in the bag right now. And this is how compact it is. It's, again, meant to be whipped around nice and easy. So without further ado, let's crack into this bag and look at what we have to offer. This is the minimalist setup for those of you who want a game on the go the best way possible, but not look like a complete and utter RGB clown. So first things first, let's talk about your Switch case. This right here is one of 3 Switch cases that I would recommend. This is my go-to. This is the TomTalk Slim case. I don't love this white one. This is what they sent to me before it came out, but I haven't needed to upgrade or change the color because it works just fine. They have multiple colors now for the Nintendo Switch OLED, and if you have a Nintendo Switch Lite, they have that too, as well as the standard V2 or Nintendo Switch Launch Edition. They have all of the different sizes. Just make sure when you're buying one, it is either branded for the OLED, Lite, or V2 so that you get the proper size. Because again, it is slim, and in being slim, it is designed specifically for the size of the Switch that you have. This case is very, very minimalistic. What you have is a hard shell outer, game slots right here. You get 10 in this one. And you have a place for your Switch. The back has a little bit of indentation, so it's not constantly pressing your trigger or shoulder buttons, and it's really, really nice and sleek. The second option that I would go with, the Genki case. This is the Genki Force Field. What I like about this case is twofold. One, it has little grips on the back, just enough to make this feel more comfortable in the hands, where the Slim case just has your case. Now, what you are getting rid of is a game cartridge holder. So you're gonna have to figure out a different way to go about holding your games, and there are plenty of ways to do that, whether you purchase some game cartridge holder online that's really small, that looks like kind of a passport type of thing, or you just don't bring any games with you because you're an all-digital gamer, which is fine, and we'll get into how to do that best. What I really like about it is it's very sleek, very, very slim. Your shoulder buttons are not covered, so they are exposed, but if you're not throwing your bag around too much, you should be fine. And because this is a force field case, this right here actually comes off and you have just the Switch like this, and you can keep this in your bag or wherever you want to go. It is magnetized, so it really doesn't take much effort to put it back on, and you're awesome. What's even radder about this is the back has a little flap, and that flap allows you to play tabletop mode, and we'll get into some of the accessories you're gonna need for tabletop mode. This is great. I don't use it as much anymore because I have these special Tears of the Kingdom Switch, and I wanna show off that I spent extra money to buy a new Switch, even though I already had one. But this right here is the second option I would choose, and the third is going to be this right here, which looks like another Slim case by TomTalk, and it kind of is. This is their Slim case for Nintendo Switches that also have the split pad compacts attached to it. Now, this isn't my favorite way to play, but if you are a hyper minimalist and you don't want to bring any extra accessories, and this is the controller version you prefer, this right here is awesome. This fits the Switch nicely. There's extra room at the bottom to, again, leave space for those shoulder buttons not to be pressed at all. It's a hard outer and a soft inner, and it has 10 game slots for any of you guys who have games that you want to carry around. Now, the Split Pad Compact is a very interesting product. I enjoy it. I use it from time to time, not as much anymore, but I do use it still. This gives you the extra controller feel in your hand because of the way that these are designed to just fit your hand better. I personally do not like grip cases. I think that they're lame. I don't like putting anything on my Switch like that. I don't know why. It's just not my cup of coffee. So this is the way that I mitigate that if I'm not just going to play normal handheld mode. I put the Split Pad Compacts on. As far as buttons are concerned, it's the best feeling buttons that exist on a split pad kind of situation. I've used a few, and this is my favorite. Now, are the technical specs anything to shake a stick at? Not necessarily. There's no rumble at all. They're not powered. They cannot turn on your Switch externally if you take these off your Switch because, again, there's no power. They need your Switch to turn on. They do have the added effect of having back buttons if that's something you're into. And also, if you're into turbo buttons, if that's something you use too, they have that as well. They're very nice. They come in a few colors, and they have the special Gengar and Mimikyu ones. I got Gengar because Gengar is the man. But yeah, I like these. They're designed well. They're very lightweight, which is nice, and they have these extra kickstands on the back, so it lays flat when you place it down. Now, as far as controllers are concerned, that is one option for you. If you're not going to go with the Split Pad Compact and you're just going to go slim case and you need a controller, I have three controllers that I would recommend, starting with my favorite controller, and that is going to be the Pro Controller. This is the best controller for the Nintendo Switch. If you don't think so, fight me. The reason why this is the best is because it is designed specifically for the Nintendo Switch. It is first party, and it works really, really well. I keep mine in a TomTalk case that has been designed specifically for the Pro Controller. It has a USB-C hole, so you can plug in your controller if it's in this case, if you need to do so, but this thing is known for having long battery life, like 30 to 40 hours worth of battery life. So if you're running around with a dead Pro Controller, you're irresponsible. After you open this thing up, you can take out your Pro Controller and you're good to go. Me, I have the wonderful Tears of the Kingdom one, and I just love it so much. In this case, lets me bring my controller wherever I want. The case is not much larger than the Pro Controller, so that is something that is really a plus. As far as the controller is concerned, the Pro Controller is just so perfect to me. The buttons, the ABXY buttons, are really nice. They feel good. The D-pad for me is fine. I don't have any issues with it. It's not the best D-pad. The next controller I'm going to talk about has the best D-pad out of the three I will recommend. And the thumbsticks just are so smooth. The design is great. It feels good. It's big enough. And the shoulder and trigger buttons are buttons. There's no long pulls, and there's no customization you can do on this. It just is what it is, and it is great. So this is the number one choice as far as controllers are concerned. If you want to go third party, this is the best third party controller that exists. This is the 8BitDo Ultimate Controller. There are plenty on the market right now, and I've used plenty of them as well, but I love this one for multiple reasons. One, it has multiple profiles, and if you pair it with the Ultimate software by 8BitDo, you can customize just about anything that's on this controller. Now, this doesn't have button triggers. These are full pull triggers that you can customize the sensitivity of in that Ultimate software, and the shoulder buttons feel great. This has the best D-pad out of all of the controllers. It does have rumble. It's not HD rumble. HD rumble is only available, and that's just Nintendo's fancy wording for haptic feedback, is only available on the Pro Controller and on the Joy-Cons. And it does have two back buttons as well. Now, all of that has to be customized through the Pro software. It does have switches on the back, so you can pair this to different types of things, such as Bluetooth or 2.4 gigahertz USB dongle, which you get with the purchase of this controller, as well as a charging dock, which doesn't help you on the go, but really it is a good controller. Again, the best that exists out there. It doesn't have amiibo support, which is kind of a bummer, but hey, you know, if you don't really need to use amiibos on the go, you're fine. And chances are you're going to have your Joy-Cons on there. So if you need to use amiibos for Tears of the Kingdom to get all of those beautiful fancy outfits, you're set with your Joy-Cons. Now again, this is the second controller I'd recommend. The third controller is going to be this guy right here. This is the best compact controller out there, honestly, because of two things. One, the buttons are full-sized. They feel great. And two, the thumbsticks actually have full travel. The travel of these thumbsticks remind me of the Pro Controller. The throw is nice. The circle is nice. Your range is nice. Everything about these thumbsticks feel good. Now, this is smaller, actually substantially smaller than a normal controller, and when you're playing it at first, you might have to do a little bit of adjusting to understand, okay, I'm not using a full-size controller, but that's just because your hands are closer together. At no point when pressing buttons or trying to move around with the thumbsticks or using the D-pad or even pressing the home button, screen button, plus minus button, or even the triggers? Do you feel like you're using a micro small controller? This is made by PowerA. PowerA is good friends with Nintendo. They make actual Nintendo licensed product. This has the Nintendo Switch logo on it. This Nano controller, which is what it is, the PowerA Nano, is my favorite mini controller. Now, I don't use this on the go as much, again, because I like my Pro controller with the case. But if you were looking for a controller that was tiny, compact, and just was your on-the-go only controller, this is absolutely the one. No other ones can compare to this. Now, let's talk about audio. I use a specific pair of headphones for my Nintendo Switch. I never would have thought that these actually were worth it, but these are the Genki Waveform. What I like about these is that they have specific design elements that are made for your Nintendo Switch. It can link to your Nintendo Switch through Bluetooth. You have a USB-C to USB-A cable or a USB-C to Lightning cable if you're someone who has an iPhone to do 2 audio connections at once. You can use your Discord audio or the terrible Nintendo Switch Online or Nintendo Online app, whatever it's called, audio, or just use this as is. At first, I did use my AirPods. I did try to link them, but having to reconnect, disconnect all the time was a pain in the butt. I want to be able to have the experience where I open up the case, throw these in my ear, play my game, and all I have to do is turn on my Switch. Having a dedicated set of headphones is the way to go. Now, you can go the cheap option, get yourself a pair of plugged-in headphones, or even get a different pair, a cheaper version, because these are unfortunately really expensive. But these are packed full of features, really good sound quality, and the latency, though it does exist in a lot of Bluetooth headphones, you're going to get some latency. It isn't terrible. It doesn't change the gaming experience. And again, if you're going to be playing something that needs precise audio, I would just go connected over anything else. These are hands down my absolute favorite headphones to use for my Nintendo Switch. Now, when it comes to the Nintendo Switch itself, there are 2 products I think are a must-have. Before you even take your Nintendo Switch out of the box, you should already have this installed on it. I'm just saying that that's not possible, but you're gonna need to do this. Get a screen protector. This specific screen protector, this one is cheap, it's easy, it comes with 2 or 3. You can have an applicator on there. It's like glass. I think it's tempered. It may not be, but it just gives you the peace of mind that you're not gonna scratch up your Nintendo Switch. And 2, expand your storage. There's so many different options out there. I have everything linked below, but expand your storage. I think that a really good expansion is starting at 256. You can go up to 1 terabyte if you're a super user. Me, I have a 512 in there, and it's plenty. I don't use much more than that, and I don't see myself using much more than that because I also buy physical games, so I use that as well. Those don't need to go into much detail. Just those 2 things, get them for your Switch. Now, let's talk power. I do have a second dock. In fact, I have 2 extra docks. This one's the one I keep on me at all times because it's just good enough. This is, again, by Genki. This is their Covert Dock Mini. This right here is a dock. It is specifically designed for the Nintendo Switch, so you do not have to worry that your Nintendo Switch is going to get fried by some nonsense third-party dock. Now, they are not licensed by Nintendo, so even though they say it is safe, you have to always take that with a grain of salt. I've used this exclusively for a very long time, and it's fine. I now have a special dock that I keep on my desk that I will use because it's, again, the Tears of the Kingdom one, but this right here is amazing. Now, it does have some downsides. One of the downsides for this is that it has no additional USB-A port to charge any of your accessories. If you're someone who wants to charge your accessories as well, you would want to go with their standard Covert dock, which is same as that one, except it's a little bit bigger and it has an additional USB-A port. Whichever one you decide to go with is going to be fine. They both function exactly the same. You just need to have a power cable, which they provide for you, a USB-C to USB-C cable and an HDMI cable, which chances are, if you've been gaming for a while, you've got way too many already. But the USB-C and HDMI cable is all you need to have this functioning as a full-fledged safe dock for your system. I think that these are amazing to have, and if you ever need to charge your Switch on the go or you're traveling, either of those 2 are going to do the job just fine. Now, one final product that you can take with you anywhere you go if you would like, or for me, I don't because I don't really need this product for on-the-go gaming, is the M Classic. This right here is probably the one most underrated devices that I have. I have been so impressed by this little device. It is an upscaler. And what it does is it takes your image, it upscales it to a higher resolution, it smooths out all of the jagged edges with anti-aliasing, and it makes your game look better. it genuinely makes your game look better. Now, there are 3 different modes on this. There is pass-through only, which means that it's not going to do anything. There is the upscaling mode, the standard mode, or there is one that is specifically designed for retro consoles. Now, I'm not going to speak too much into that because I don't use this with retro consoles, but for the Nintendo Switch, dudes and dudettes, it actually genuinely makes your game look better. This right here is what should be inside of all of our docks, but it's not. It does all of the things you want it to do, and as you can see, it is very, very tiny. But there's not much I can say about it. I did make a full video right here. This one goes into detail about how this works, and I do side-by-side comparisons with Breath of the Wild gameplay on a giant TV. And so if you want to check that out, go ahead and do that. If not, thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.